welcome back to depression-youarenotalone.com. I am Shannon. To my right is Lou, and behind the scenes is John. I just want to start by saying again, it is bloody hot out here. The humidity is just at the top of the level. So we are outside because we want to make it more relaxing, but it is hot. All right, let's take it away because it's bloody hot.
And we've wanted to be outside, but it's so hot. Everybody knows that it's hot everywhere.
Yeah, it's hot everywhere.
The heat index, again, 100 something.
Ugh.
So yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, we are.
Because we want to be outside.
We want to be outside, but it's bloody hot.
We want to be outside, not from an air-conditioned house to an air-conditioned car and vice versa. And my eyes are very dry right now because we have fans blowing in our faces.
Oh, they're not blowing in my face, and it's very minimal.
Good, it's blowing in mine. We want to talk about something that surprisingly we have not talked a lot about, and that is panic attacks.
Very real.
Right? We have not talked much about panic attacks.
So no, so we just make that the subject of the day.
So that's the subject. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because panic attacks were a big part of my life. Now, Shannon showed me a video of it was an LPN.
Yeah.
Who was going through anxiety and panic attacks. Actually, a great video. I enjoyed watching it. Where she said she would have bad anxiety or panic attacks once a week. Was it?
Well, no, she had what that was with the medication. She had bad panic attacks and anxiety prior. It was minimal to moderate, and she wasn't sure exactly what was going on. So she went to the doctor because she's an LPN, but she went to a doctor, and they put her on medication, and she was having them once a week.
And then she said she's never felt better.
And they upped her medication from 50 milligrams to 75 milligrams, and then she's never felt better.
Now, in my case, I was on medication for anxiety and panic attacks, daily medication.
Oh, wait, hold on. And just to let you know, the medication that she was on that helped her is very important. It was sertraline, which is also Zoloft.
She was on Zoloft.
Yeah.
Now, I was on several medications on a daily basis for anxiety and panic attacks, right? To level you off. And I was having massive panic attacks on a daily basis. Now, for my panic attacks, I was given Klonopin. Okay? Now, this is the problem. A lot of doctors do not want to prescribe that.
No.
And I understand that. I understand that, believe me. I truly do.
They do not.
Because when you're on medication for anxiety and panic attacks, daily medication, right, to keep you level, to hopefully prevent them, and you still have massive panic attacks on a daily basis, you start to get into that mode of, this is a horrible feeling. It is horrible. To the point you don't want to leave the house, or, it's just horrible. When the medication takes that away from you, and you're not dealing with that, is it easy to get addicted to it? It's already addictive anyway. Okay? Stevie Nicks, for example, was addicted to Klonopin, and many, many other people.
Well, Stevie Nicks abused it.
Because it's highly addictive.
Yeah. And hence why they don't want to prescribe it.
And some people like that feeling, the feeling it gives you. I did not. Okay? I did not. I hated the panic attacks. Hated them. And anyone who's had panic attacks understands. Now, anxiety for those that, for example, you have an exam. Right? Or you're going through a stressful situation right now and you have anxiety. That is different than having massive panic attacks.
But it's still real.
It's still real. It's always real. When people suffer, it's always real.
It's very
we don't have to make comparisons. Well, I suffered more than you. Or
no, that's not what we're talking about.
No, these are things that make life very unpleasant.
Uncomfortable.
Get to the point where you're scared.
It ruins your daily activities, your daily thinking, your daily mobility.
I got to the point where I had to have Klonopins in my car. I had to have them on me, even if I was fine. If I went
just
somewhere
in case.
And realized, oh my God, I didn't grab a Klonopin. I don't have anything on me right now. Got to the point of I'm feeling fine, but I start to think, and I try to tell myself, all right, forget about that you don't have one. You're fine right now. Guess what?
You have one.
I'd have one.
And you need that
I'd have
Band-Aid.
one,
You
'cause
need that Band-Aid.
That crutch, I didn't have that crutch on me. I could be in the mall. I could be somewhere. And I realized I don't have it. I tried to convince myself, yeah, but you're fine right now. You don't need it. You're fine.
It's too overwhelming at times.
But I had severe panic attacks for years. For years. Now, in my situation, I consider myself a creative person. I was active. I wanted to do things. I played ball. You know, you remember, right? I used to play ball. I did a lot of things. I was active. And the medication would bring me to the point where I didn't have energy for anything. For example, I can give people this example. I told my doctor. I've told other people. Some people I've told, and they agreed with me. They've been through it as well. If I took a Klonopin right now, I'm fine right now, but if I took a Klonopin, yes, it would bring me down, it would relax me, it would slow everything down. Yes, it would do that. But if I had a massive panic attack and took a Klonopin, I would crash.
Because it's just doing its job.
However, what makes it more attractive to people, I'm not saying it should be that way. We have to find other ways other than relying on that medication. Put it on a scale.
Crazy bird. We have a crazy bird.
The Blue Jay is pissed.
Yeah,
that you didn't
he's
feed him
mad.
today.
Sorry about that.
Put it on a scale. The feeling of a massive panic attack and the feeling of being now relaxed and being brought down, and the panic attack is gone. It does entice people to want to be medicated. Now, I don't have Klonopin anymore.
No, you don't.
And even when I had it, I had 1 milligram tablets. There were times I had to take more than one. And there were times I realized that, wait a minute. For starters, I would do this. Let me just say this first. I would fight the anxiety because I knew when a panic attack was coming on. I already knew it. And you're talking about almost every day. So I know where this could end up going. I would try to distract my mind. I would go outside. I'd go for a walk. Do the breathing exercises. Inhale in deep through my nose. Hold my breath. Slowly exhale through my mouth. Try to not think about it. Think about other things.
Sometimes it's too overwhelming.
Many, many times it would subside. I will say this. I still felt like I got my ass kicked.
No.
Even if I overcame it without medication, I still felt drained. Even if it wasn't a massive panic attack, a mild panic attack, I felt drained. But I realized if I break the pill in half, and a half a dose is enough to bring me down to where I'm okay.
It's worth
Why
it.
would I take a full pill?
Why would you?
I used to go to my psychiatrist, and he would bring out his script pad and to refill the script, and I'd tell him, I don't need him. I don't need him. And he'd say, you don't need him? I'd say, no, I'm going to be here next month. I have more than a month's supply. He's like, wow.
You worked through it, some of them.
I wish I had more patients like you that don't want the crutch all the time. Did have to take it sometimes. I remember I had panic attacks driving. I think I told this story many.
Oh, the one where you were getting off on 95?
I would get off the highway,
Yeah.
and if I felt the lights red, I couldn't go to my left, I couldn't go to my right, I felt trapped.
Yeah.
I would have a panic attack. Now, anybody would say it's ridiculous. Yes, it's ridiculous. I agree, it's ridiculous.
They just come on.
But it would happen. If I go somewhere and don't have my crutch, I'd have a panic attack. I started to train myself in knowingly not bringing that pill.
I like to refer to it as a Band-Aid more than a crutch. I mean, I know they're very similar in things, but I do think I like calling it a Band-Aid.
And let's say this. I mean, for people that have moderate to severe panic attacks, having that medication is important.
Can be very helpful.
It's important.
Yes, I agree.
Listen, if we could not suffer, don't suffer.
No, I agree.
But I also
Don't abuse
focused
it.
on working on the panic attacks
Yeah.
without the medication.
Because you can help yourself too.
And I realized many times I
certain
succeeded
circumstances, yeah.
in not taking the medication. I also realized sometimes it was
Necessity.
stronger than
Something
me.
you couldn't take, yeah. and you
Stronger
couldn't
than
control.
me. But what I did is, instead of taking it constantly, is I took it as a last resort.
Yeah. And you cut it in half to see if that would
And I did that.
feed the bead,
I
or whatever
do.
they call it.
I do want
Feed the bead?
I do. I don't know what that means.
I might have made that up, but
I
it
do want to
sounds good.
say. I do want to say about doing that, cutting back, and fighting it myself. It wasn't easy.
It's not.
It wasn't easy.
But
I'm not going to say I
controlling
did it. It was easy for me. It was not easy. But I understood. I understood that it's an addictive medication.
Yeah.
And I understood too, I can't have a medication control my life.
No.
I understood that because I'm not a fan of medication.
Controlled substances.
Even if I have a headache, okay, I don't take 2 pain relievers, I take 1. And I don't even take that 1 if I can massage my temples or if I can do something without taking medication. Because many times I've had a headache and I find out that I didn't need a pain reliever. Have you done it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, where I find out I didn't even need to take it.
Just sit back and relax and just
So-
not move and it goes away.
So Xanax, as we all know, is another panic attack medication, anxiety medication. The Band-Aid I'm talking about, a Band-Aid, or as you call it, a crutch. Very important to take at times, just like Klonopin. I think it's a little bit, I mean, they're both addictive. They work similar, but they are 2 different beasts. But both highly addictive. We are not saying don't not take them if prescribed to you. But we're not.
And don't suffer.
No, don't suffer. We're not saying that. But
No, don't suffer.
if you can, because I've taken Xanax before. I've
suffer.
taken Xanax before. Many times.
The point I want to make is to those that have had panic attacks. Again, we're not talking about anxiety over a situation.
No.
Right, over
No.
I got that
a
big
medical exam,
or I have that interview for that new
SATs.
job.
Yeah, we're not talking
Those
about
are
that.
2 different animals.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 different beasts.
That's the same thing with depression, where you have clinical depression
Yeah,
and you have
situational.
depression. Okay, those are different things. We understand that. They both are important, because if someone's
Of
suffering with
course,
something,
you're suffering.
you're suffering.
Yeah.
Okay, and no one has a right to
Very
take that away
real.
from anyone. But I just want to give my examples of what I did.
Yeah.
That I don't even have Klonopins anymore. As a matter of fact, why don't you tell everyone how many medications I take?
You don't take any
Any.
medications.
0. I don't take any. Do I have downtimes? Do I struggle? Yes. But I find out my struggles sometimes working through them might be a few hours, they might be a day or 2.
You know what?
But
I
get
do want to
past
say
them.
this. I do want to say this. This has been helpful to you, and I'm sure it's been helpful to many others, especially people that have a lot of anxiety, that maybe don't want to take the Xanax or the Klonopin. A nice thing to try, it does take about 30 minutes to kick in, is chamomile tea.
Yes.
It's very true. It's very real. Now, it may not be for you, but you could try it if you want to try not to take that Xanax, or don't put your health at risk. But if you...
Well, experiment with different things and
if
see
you
what
want to
works.
try it, it takes about 30 minutes.
And what you said about chamomile tea, it's not just that you brew some chamomile tea and down it and go, okay, please go away now.
Doesn't
It
work
doesn't
out.
work
It's
that
also
way.
the whole aspect of it.
Yes.
Brewing your tea, focus on brewing my tea for me, enjoying it, relaxing while you're drinking it.
It will
Exactly.
relax you.
It's not just you down it like
No.
a shot.
No,
Like a
no,
shot of
you want it to
no.
work
And
immediately.
And now, okay, do something for me.
No.
It's not
It's the
immediate.
whole
30 minutes. It's a process.
of it. Right?
Yeah.
But just to let you
you're
know-
brewing the tea, you're trying to clear your mind as you're brewing the tea, you then are enjoying the tea, maybe a visual of something nice.
Music,
the
maybe?
whole music.
Could be helpful.
Music.
Maybe a
looking at
little bit
something
of
you enjoy.
L-theanine with it, which is calms
Well,
your mind.
let's just stick with
But
this
the whole
real quick.
process of that,
Yeah.
right? Because if sometimes you have to be specific. Because some people can say, "Hey, I brewed chamomile tea, I pounded it, and okay."
It's not what we're saying. No, we're not
It's not
saying that.
It's not a pill.
No.
No.
Okay.
And when you do brew it strong.
And enjoy it. Enjoy your time.
Yeah.
With
Sip
the
it.
tea, a
Try to
spritz of
relax.
tea.
Try
No sugar, nothing in it, just
Now,
right.
now, this is the experience I want to share with people. And I know panic attacks are scary. I know that. I lived it.
Life-threatening
I had
times.
daily massive panic attacks. I was dizzy. My heart was pumping. I was short of breath. I went through all that. Daily. Not once a week. Daily. Now, the way for me to avoid that happening was to be drugged up. And there were times where I was.
For him.
Where I went several days without having a panic attack. But I also did not like the feeling of being tired, confused,
Well, you don't function.
short-term memory. I couldn't. What was I doing? What was I going to do? I didn't want to live like that. So I realized.
But clarify something. Weren't you on medication for
Yes.
anxiety and depression, though?
Yes, and
Okay.
I still had massive panic attacks.
Yeah, okay.
My medication
Yeah. It's overwhelming.
gave me more medication,
Yeah.
stronger medication, or increased the dosage, I should say, on the medications I was on to avoid that, but I was still having them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still having them. Massive, massive panic attacks. I know how scary they are. I know how crappy they are. I know one massive panic attack, my day is ruined. But what if and then I have it the next day, the next day, the next day. Guess what? Quality of life?
This is like-
So, I felt trapped. Do I have to fight this on my own, or am I going to rely on medication? The medication has me feeling like this. The panic attacks are horrible. So I realized that I have to fight this. I have to fight it. I realized then, hey, I got through today. I felt it coming on. I felt it coming on. I fought it. I distracted myself. I went outside, thought of different things, looked at different things, tried to appreciate the birds and the squirrels and to distract my mind. It worked most of the time. Not all of the time. But enough to where I am not taking a medication every day for the panic attack. Now I may be taking it 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I then went to the next stage. I did this all on my own, folks, and I'm saying this not because I'm brilliant or genius. It's because I had a goal. That goal was to not be on this medication. I then realized breaking it in half, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. You got to put your mind to it, and you got to
Well,
experiment.
yeah,
So if
it
I
may
have a
not
panic
work,
attack-
though. For you, it did.
But you
did.
know what works and what
You
doesn't.
don't know.
Yeah, you don't know until you
You do it.
test it out.
I've said this before, I'll always say this. If you're with a therapist or a psychiatrist for 40 or 50 minutes once a week, you still have the other 6 days
Yeah.
and 23 hours of your life in that week to live.
Yeah.
To where you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? And no one knows your body better than you.
Of course,
Or
you're
how
right.
things are going to work for you, because if anybody says this works for everyone. No.
That's
I took
not
medications that I had such massive headaches that I had to get off of them. I couldn't do it. Like migraines. And there were people that take them, no problem.
No problem.
We're all different.
Everybody's different.
I'm just telling you what I did. I'm not saying this is what you need to do.
No,
I'm
we're not saying that.
I'm just saying what I did. And you know what? If you want to try what I'm telling you, talk to your doctor.
And see if you can maybe taper off on certain
But
things.
I do know the end result.
Yeah, you're on
know
no
that.
medication. That's the end result. Somebody went from severe depression, severe panic attacks,
And
severe.
the depression part I still battle.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I
But
still get anxiety, but
you're not on medication.
experience.
But
in
that might not be for
anything.
you.
Experience in anything.
And the important thing is to have a doctor that'll work with you.
Yeah,
not
you
with,
work
not
with
just
your
push
doctor.
pills.
Not next. Not next.
Yeah.
No.
A doctor that really cares, that will work with you.
And just try things.
I know
Try.
what I did. I know where I was. I know where I am. I still get anxiety, but I understand when the anxiety is coming on. I know I am not going to wait until now it's a mild panic attack to try to distract my mind.
Yeah.
Now I know I have anxiety. I'm going to distract my mind or whatever before it becomes a mild panic attack. Before that, how do I know that? Experience.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. Experience. Knowing what I was doing wrong on a regular basis. Okay, I was doing the wrong thing on a regular basis, so I constantly had panic attacks. I then realized through experience, I need to focus on something else. I need to do this, I need to do that. That started to work. So then I start to see what worked, again, through experience. I then realized, okay, sometimes it doesn't work. That's okay too.
Of course.
But if it works
Then you
20% of the time, and then it works 40% of the time,
then you can start tapering.
and then it works 60% of the time, my goal was to be on no medications. I got there in time. In time.
And only you can decide that.
In time, I got there. I want to make that clear. There's no... boom.
It wasn't overnight.
No, it was not. But there was a big
process.
learning process here. And I could not rely on my psychiatrist who saw me once a week or twice a month for 50 minutes to make all of the decisions for me. If that makes sense to folks.
Well, no,
Right?
you have to be able to think. Yeah, exactly. You have to be able to.
I go to my I'd go to my psychiatrist 50 minutes on a Thursday. Okay, well there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And most of the day Thursday that I have to take care of myself
you have
and
to.
make decisions and learn.
You have to.
Learn. It's sad, but I understand that as well, where people get hooked on a medication. I get a
Yeah.
result. I got a quick result.
Well, don't forget, a lot of people want the quick result.
Oh yeah,
And a
some
lot of
people do.
A lot of
They
people
do.
are also not told that you can also make a lot of changes.
And
a lot
you
of
can. Living
psychiatrists
proof
won't
right
say anything
here.
there.
But we're also taught, right, that medication for this, medication for that. We see commercials on TV. Ask your doctor or tell your doctor you want this or you want that. There are doctors out there, psychiatrists and therapists that are awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and ones that'll just
They're
prescribe out
awesome
there us too.
and don't want you on medication.
Yeah.
Or they want you on medication temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah. Because you have to
Those
work too
are
at
the
it.
awesome
You have to
ones.
work too at it.
Because also, I think they take pride in themselves that they had someone, they put them on medication, they worked with them, and now all of a sudden that person is free. Free of the medication. Those are the good ones.
And you may actually be free of the medication. We're not saying get off your medication. That's not what we're saying.
Never.
But you may be free of the medication, and you may have a relapse, and you may need to go back on it. But at least,
Of course.
it's that can happen.
Or
Numerous times. Or reduce.
reduce it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this. It is trial and error. It's trial and error
Well,
with
no,
medication.
don't be sorry to say that because it is trial and
No,
error.
but I understand some people don't like to hear that.
Well, you may not, but it's real.
Because we do want to believe that, okay, I have this issue, I was prescribed this medication, so I know it's going to problem is solved. It's not always the case. Sometimes
right.
you need a different medication. You need to increase the dosage. You
Well,
need to lower the dosage.
the whole thing with medication.
Or that medication is just wrong for you.
It could be.
The whole thing with medication, it doesn't fix the problem.
No,
Well-
there are things we need to do.
No, but medication can absolutely
Alleviate.
help you.
I do
Well,
believe.
yeah.
I do believe this is goals. If you have a goal of I want to at some point be off of medication, I want to live my life.
Then you take
I
those
don't want that.
baby steps to get there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in a day.
Oh, it will never be in a day. Trust me.
It takes time. It takes time. The bottom line is getting there.
Yeah.
But having the goal of getting there
Strive for
is a
it.
great starting point.
If it's
of
for you.
having that goal.
If it's for you.
Well, folks, we hope this was helpful, and please leave a comment
Leave a
if
comment.
you've battled
Share your story.
depression and anxiety. Other people may also leave a comment, and then we can share. But from Shannon, John, and Lou, we want to thank you very much. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like. We appreciate the support so we can keep doing this. And to everyone
the
out
word.
there, hey, be well, everyone.
Be well.
Take
Take care.